One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back. This episode of your favorite podcast, No
Aw.
Simple Road. Well, I hope it's your favorite anyway.
It's my favorite.
It's gotta be.
It's definitely my favorite. It's sponsored by
Electric Fish Lights. Yay!
You have lighting in your
Light it
home that you just, you don't care about it. You use it. It's a thing.
Yeah, just
It's
turn it on and off.
It's a utilitarian part of your home. Let's move past that. It's 2022. We're getting close to 2023. Let's make lighting cool again.
You want to know the coolest thing? Imagine this. Imagine you have a cute little altar and you put all your wonderful things. You put some fresh flowers, you put some incense, you put pictures of your loved ones that have passed. And then above this altar, you've got this glowing ball of light that is beautifully lit, that's turning all these different colors and playing your favorite tunes.
Or a heart-shaped light
Yeah.
over that said altar. That would be cool.
Well, I was thinking like a magic ball, like a crystal
that
ball.
too. They do anything you can imagine.
That's right.
Cartoon characters, sports teams, they've got it all. Go to electricfishlights.com and put in the promo code NSR and check out, because our friends are giving you 25% off your entire order, and they're putting Delaware Magic in the box. You have to order to find out what the Delaware Magic is. So go to electricfishlights.com, put in the promo code NSR, get you 25% off, and hook yourself up with a beautiful light over your altar or your pool table or your easy up or your beach place. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Anyway,
Light up your life or somebody else's.
You know what I'm saying. We are also sponsored by our longest and most loved, trusted sponsor ever,
Shop Tour Bus.
Go to shoptourbus.com and get yourself a Grateful Dead inspired t-shirt. Yep.
Or hat like you just received.
Yeah, man, you know how cool
pen.
these people are. They saw in a picture on Instagram that my hat
Your old
looked
dirty
like
hat.
shit.
It was in need.
And they hooked me up, man, because they're part of our family.
That's one of your
the way-
favorite
That's what
hats.
sponsors do. They make sure we look good with their merch.
That's right. And they're making sure you look good with their merch, too. Go to Shop Tour Bus. Look at all the designs they have. They've got pins, shirts, hoodies, kids' clothes, and it's going to come to you in a hand-designed box with a Grateful Dead lyric on the inside. And some of you are going to get a Miracle
bootleg
Grateful Dead cassette tape in that box. And there's all kinds of extras. I got stickers and gum and a Zot. Who's eaten a Zot in the past year and a half?
Zots are dope.
Not many of us.
Well, and on top of it, these are the most comfy shirts. They're made of like the softest, like thin, comfortable cotton. I'm wearing my Lazy Lightning one right now, which they're you got to get one. You're going to be so comfortable. You're going to look so cool. People are going to comment on it. I guarantee it.
And you're getting free shipping with the promo code NOSIMPLEROAD, all one word, when you check out. So go to shoptourbus.com online or at shoptourbus on Instagram.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from the Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
Sierra.
Bikini Bottom. I like Bikini Bottom. That SpongeBob was like the absolute shit when my kids were little.
I love that you watched it for so long and you just, what was a couple of weeks ago, you realized the Sandy.
Oh yeah.
The connection. I was like, oh really?
Sandy Cheeks. Oh, that's funny. I never got. Hey now, No Simple Road family. This is Aaron.
This is Mel.
And this is Apple.
And you're in the middle of a conversation about Bikini Bottom and SpongeBob.
We're just talking about SpongeBob, and Aaron hit record. That's what happens around here.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, my son had a SpongeBob-themed room when he was brought home from the hospital, actually, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I specifically remember painting the walls blue and green, that underwater color, and having that sandy-colored carpet with his double bunk bed, blue, you know.
And he had the SpongeBob SquarePants TV that he bought him with the VHS player.
That came a little bit later.
I was going to say, that is the only time in my whole life that I have participated in the fray and the madness of Black Friday.
Oh, really? To get that TV set?
Dude, I waited in line at Walmart at like whatever, 2 in the morning, whatever o'clock, yeah. And had to like literally shove my way past to get the SpongeBob VCR TV.
Wow. Well, I went to good use. That room was dope. I
remember
staying at your guys' house. I'd always hang out with Simon, sleeping on the bunk beds with him peeking over the top. Apple, are you sleeping? Apple, are you sleeping? Like wake me up and then giggle.
We had the curtains.
Yeah, man.
That room was
so
dope.
Cute.
And so that brings us to Kendall Street Company.
How are we going to bring that around to that?
Because Kendall Street Company is just as fun as Bikini Bottom, and their mascot for this tour is a crab.
It's the crab.
That looks like Mr. Krabs.
Sweet.
Boom.
It does look like Mr. Krabs.
There it is.
Yes, it is.
If
All
you
right.
don't
Woo!
already follow, know, listen to, and admire Kendall Street Company, well, you should.
Join the club.
Yeah, because we do. They're actually coming to our house tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.
We just bought tickets to go see them tomorrow. So we're going to where are we going? Apple, help me out.
Doug
Fur.
Fur.
Thank you.
What's a Doug Fur? Oh. What I love it to the SpongeBob connection too. They also have 2 new singles out: the California Number 24 and Crab Surprise. So I mean,
See,
There it is. Back to SpongeBob.
that was not planned. I don't know how we did that, but we did. Anyway, we had a blast talking with the gentleman from Kendall Street Company. Who we had
Jake and Ryan.
and Ryan. That's right. And you guys are gonna enjoy this conversation, I think, as much as we did. A lot of laughing. And
good deep talk, too. It was fun.
yeah, and this is another instance of like getting on the phone. How else would you say this? Like, getting on the call with a band and instantly feeling like, oh, these are our friends that we've known for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And
I feel like that is just how we roll.
well, it doesn't happen all the time.
It happens a good amount of times, but definitely not all the time.
Right. Sometimes we have a flat tire and we roll different.
99% of
do.
the time.
But one of my favorite things that I wrote down in our conversation was Trail Angels. And you will have to stay tuned to hear what Trail Angels
Tour
is.
and Tour Angels.
No.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Okay. So we're gonna get you to the interview with them. Apple, do you have any news? Or are they playing anywhere?
Well, yeah, I was
besides
just going
here
to
in
throw out by the
Portland?
time this comes out, we will have already seen them, like Aaron said, at Doug Fur. But then they're making their way down through California on the 24th. They're going to be at Slow Brew in San Luis Obispo, which that's a hell of a town.
Mm-hmm.
I love that place. And then they're going to be hitting San Francisco, and then they're going to be at High Sierra Music Festival, June 30th through July 1st, and then on to Santa Cruz. So check them out. They could be coming to your area. You do not want to miss this.
Yep. Make sure you throw them a follow on whatever social media platform you do your social media-ing on, and listen to what they got going on, because it's super cool and different and amazing and fun, and you're going to get to meet the guys here in a minute as soon as I shut up. But I'm not shutting up yet, because this is our show and I'm going to keep going. We're going to do the business, and then we're going to get you to the interview. So follow us on Instagram and Twitter at No Simple Road. We are doing live streams every Saturday, but actually this Saturday we are not. We are going to be at Mojo Family Fest in Washougal, Washington. So if you haven't gotten your tickets for that, it's almost too late. So you should hook yourself up and come party with the No Simple Road family. We're going to be doing a live podcast from there. We're going to be doing some crowd interviews. We're going to be walking around with the recorder. We're going to be taking
I'm going to
some
have
video.
a special little booth, too.
Oh, yeah. Mel's doing a hookup thing.
Yes, I am. You
You're gonna
got to
be-
come out. We're going to talk about it after I do it. So we're not going to talk
I
about it
can't
now.
say now?
No, you're not going to say now. We're going to enjoy it, and then we'll talk about it after, because it might be a thing that I keep doing
All right.
at the festival.
Go
Plus,
to-
I like this. There's going to be all kinds of to-dos and shenanigans. There's going to be
Yeah.
some shenanigans thrown in there.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
Okay.
a couple of whatnots.
Yeah.
And
With
who's
or
the what's
without,
it?
with or without the scooter chaser.
or the Whisker Biscuits.
Go to www.nosimpleroad.com. Go click on the merch tab. Get yourself some No Simple Road merch. We got cups and fanny packs and t-shirts and hoodies and all kinds of fun shit over there. And also, you could sign up for a tarot reading with Mel and I. You get a 1-hour tarot reading with the Grateful Dead tarot deck. Every card represents a song. So when your reading's over, I will send you your own personalized playlist based on the cards that you pulled. You will get a synopsis of your reading and an audio file of it. So it's like this whole fun package that you get, and you can sign up over at nosimpleroad.com. Plus, you get to spend an hour with me and Mel, and we'll get to talk and like hang out and do fun stuff. It's probably one of my favorite parts of doing the show is getting to do tarot readings for the No Simple Road family. It's super cool. So go there, do that. And then there's all other kinds of stuff going on. Please make sure to go to YouTube and subscribe to the No Simple Road YouTube channel. We are growing that. And like I said, we're doing live streams every Saturday, except for the next 2 weeks, because we're going to be at Mojo Family Fest. And then No Simple Road is going to the Peach Festival.
Woohoo! And
Yeah.
I have my peach socks on ready.
And tomorrow, well, we'll have given away the passes by the time this comes out, but we gave away a pair of passes to somebody wonderful. We don't know.
Congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Who won.
Insert name here. Yeah. But yeah, if you are so inclined, come hang out with us at Peach. We're going to be podcasting live from there. And we have a bunch of stuff coming up. We're doing Camp Suds with the guys from Sponge and Cycles, Family Mystic, and just all kinds of stuff is going on this summer. So make sure you go to NoSimpleRoad.com and check out the calendar of events. If you are so inclined to come boogie with us, we would love it. That is part of the magic of No Simple Road, is getting to meet you guys and hang out and do our thing together. So.
Yeah, the other huge one too is that Northwest String Summit up here at 20th anniversary, and the final one, that is going to be a party.
I can't even think about that yet, because it's going to be such an incredible, huge thing that I have to give that my full attention. So I'm waiting until after Peach to like completely absorb
switch
what that
into
even
that.
means. Yeah.
I'm proud of you, babe.
Why?
Because you usually don't do that. And it's something that I have learned to do, and it takes a hell of a load off of
It's called compartmentalizing.
Yeah. I'm really good at that. And I'm proud of you.
Enjoy the moment that we're in.
Yeah, because all these amazing things that the show has in store for us, they come and go so quickly. So it's really cool to be able to give it its due while it's here.
Absolutely. Absolutely true. So yeah, give it your due. You too. Listen, be in the moment. Listen to Ram Dass. Be here now. Also, go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. That is how you can financially support No Simple Road. The three of us are every week, several times a week, doing interviews, giving our time, our talent, our creativity, and our passion to the No Simple Road family. And all we're asking is that you go to patreon.com and give $1 a month.
You know, yesterday I was really blown away. I needed an address for a collage that I was going to send out. Yeah. And Aaron started to kind of go down the list of our Patreon Chandonators. And I almost got teary-eyed to see the people that have consistently given to the show, who are longtime donators, because it kind of gives you a total of, you know, how
their
much
lifetime giving.
They're to date, you know. And it's freaking humbling and beautiful and sweet to know that people out there are paying for our art and are enjoying it week after week. And so I just want to say to our existing Chandonators, thank you so much for supporting us, believing in us, and for being consistent. That's so special, and we need it and we appreciate it. And I just want to let everybody know that I appreciate it. So thank you. Man,
that it's a huge deal to have anybody support your art. And
it's love. It's like love you can actually like see and feel, and it's like, oh,
it's like, hey man, we want you guys to be able to continue doing this thing.
And it's not asking that much, because I think about it, like when I'm going to work every day, I stop at one of the corner stores to grab a couple snacks or something and spend anywhere from like $5-10 a morning. It's like $1 a month. That's like 25. We've broken that down.
It's a quarter an episode.
Like 25 cents. You know, what can you get for 25 cents? I don't even think you can get a jukebox
Is it one of those
song for
things
a quarter
because
anymore.
it's free? Like you don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, you're gonna get it anyway.
So why not?
So why bother? But hey, man, that's
That's lame.
This family is different than that. And we take care of each other.
Yeah, we're trying to up everyone's game. So we're always trying to give you better interviews, new listens, new bands to hear. So yeah, up your game. If you're just a listener and you haven't spent a dime on No Simple Road, try it. See if it makes your heart feel any bigger.
Yeah, I know the one thing I do every year too is make a little donation to our local radio station, the KBOO up here, because I love that station. I put it on so much when I get in my car and stuff. It's supporting your local station. We are like a local station.
We are your local
supporting
station.
What you consume.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's patreon.com/No Simple Road. You get the gist now.
Yeah.
And we're done. So
yeah. And then, the other thing you could do too is go over to Apple Podcasts, go on there. No new review this week, but we know that's because you guys are working so hard on doing those. They'll be upcoming. I'm counting on that, you know. But you can go over there, you can hit that 5-star button, and if you're so inclined, go on to leave a little review or a long review, whatever you feel like.
Hey, I wanted to say something about that. So if you go to Apple Podcasts and you look at the reviews, there's like 370 something 5 stars. There are thousands of you that listen to this show every month. Like seriously. So could maybe, I don't know, let's say 40% of you take a minute, just 30 seconds, and go over there and hit that button, because it's not an ego thing. It's an algorithm thing. When you guys do that, it pushes us up in the algorithm. And then when people are listening to other podcasts, it pops us up in that thing that like, if you like this, then you might like this. And it helps us grow. So if you want to do something that doesn't cost anything, we always say that. That's how it helps us. And so if you could just take a second and go over there and do that.
It costs nothing but a couple seconds
There's
of time.
my song for the week.
That's
We're
right.
waiting for it.
See, she wrote a song about it.
Yeah.
Want to hear it? There it went.
Well, then what is it? Then we have that really cool thing that anybody can do also.
Oh, yeah.
Is calling up the tepid line.
That tepid line.
971-808-1524. That
Hit it
number
up.
again is 971-808-1524. Operators are not standing by. It is a Google Voice line that you can leave a 3-minute message on saying anything you want. We would love it if you just called in and asked us a question because that gives us something to talk about.
Yes.
Make no mistake, though, we don't have problems finding stuff to talk about.
But we love it when you guys get
We
us.
like being prompted.
Yeah. So there it is. That's all the business. Let's do the interview with Kendall Street Company. And remember, when that is done, the show ain't over.
Stay tuned.
The fat lady does not sing until you hear Children of Indigo at the end of the episode. Hang out with us after the conversation.
Shout
with
out
Kendall
Children of Indigo.
Yep. Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Jake and Ryan from Kendall Street Company.
We did it. Yay
That
us.
sounded intense. Is it going?
It is.
All right.
So it's my understanding we're kind of opening up for ourselves here on the podcast, kind of like what Fish does at every show.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wow.
Kendall Street Company here. We have infiltrated the No Simple Road headquarters.
Infiltration.
And we're here hanging out. This is Lewis with Kendall Street Company. I have no idea what was said on the actual podcast because it was recorded a little while ago and I wasn't there, but we're here now. And I tell you what, this is a really great spot here in Portland, man. It's a really great spot.
Portland, Oregon.
You sound high. Everybody's like,
Portland.
This is where dreams are made.
You had the strongest cup of decaf coffee ever.
Yeah, strong decaf. Really get me up.
It's jacked. So,
Strongest CBD weed on this side of the Mississippi.
hey, we just did a whole commercial about it. And see, it's not bullshit.
No.
No,
It's so relaxed.
Well,
We had
I had
weed
some
creams.
THC, so
yeah. Well, that's supposed to relax you. I guess CBD is supposed to relax you too, though, if you think about it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it should be the
That's the
goal
purpose
of
of it.
any host that's hosting a band while they're on tour. The goal should be to make sure that you guys are the most relaxed you could possibly be, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I
You all
mean
have
that's
the masters.
The master.
pretty cool. I like that.
Have we
Appreciate
done a
it.
good job? So
on a scale of 1 to 10,
are you relaxed?
Oh, 10 out
Oh
of 10.
yeah.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
I'm ready for the bath salts.
okay?
Yeah.
You're not going to snort them. You're going to
We'll see.
Bathe in them. Yeah, you
That's how
bathe
hard
in
I want to
these.
relax. This
That's
decaf
true.
coffee isn't getting me to quite there.
So, where are you guys headed to next? It's Thursday right now, by the way.
Thursday. Wait, it is?
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it is.
It will be.
Trust me.
Today is gonna be Thursday.
Trust me, it's Thursday.
Today's going to be Thursday. We're going to be in San Luis Obispo at the Slow Brew on tomorrow, Friday.
Okay.
On tomorrow.
So if you're in San Luis Obispo, trust me when I tell you want to go see these guys play. Just
And that's a fun town. That's a college town on the beach.
it's like fun squared because the town's fun and then these guys are fun and then like you're having fun and it's a whole thing.
I want to run in the sand in slow motion.
It's,
You
it's
got it.
way harder.
You can
should
do that there.
You can
do that there.
It's way harder to do that though. It's not as easy as it looks. They train for years
Oh, I know.
doing that.
He can do it.
I
I have confidence he's going to pull it off.
True.
I just imagine I'm going to run into Brian Wilson still writing songs about college-age girls on the beach.
It's a little weirder now though.
Yeah,
This old guy's like,
that's all he knows how to
college
do, though.
girls.
that's true.
Wow.
All right, so most memorable food item that you've had in Portland. Go.
Well, dinner tonight was pretty on top
Just trying to
notch.
butter us up.
Absolutely.
I had
Fried
brisket
rice.
curry at Eam. That was
Yeah.
really good.
Wait a minute.
Thai.
Brisket.
My head just exploded.
Brisket curry.
Yeah, it was
Ooh.
really freaking good.
That's-
Brisket curry.
That's like a Jew's dream.
Yeah.
Like Chinese
Yeah.
food and brisket together.
That's
Holy shit.
I always do the Christmas Chinese dinner at Guangdong. This place in Norfolk. So it was nice to be able to combine the love of the Chinese food, which is a Jewish cultural tradition,
Totally.
with the brisket that my mom makes.
What is it about your mom's brisket?
Yeah, I don't know how she does. I think there's definitely some, there's a tomatoey kind of thing.
Right?
It's really freaking good.
It's
Love?
that okay.
That's
You
what
win.
he did.
That
Aaron's
is-
got a handed down recipe when he makes a brisket at Christmas time. It's like, oh
Oh,
shit.
dude. Yeah, but it is not curried.
No, it's not curried, but it is a brisket.
And it doesn't fulfill the Chinese food itch.
That's
Not
true.
at all.
But
It's an itch.
brisket's awesome.
Okay.
Period.
So you guys are in San Luis Obispo and then where?
And then San Francisco.
All right. And then back across the country?
And
No.
then to the High Sierra Festival.
Yeah, going to Quincy.
All right.
CCA.
Very exciting.
You guys are going to fucking love High Sierra.
Woo!
Yeah.
It's a magical wonderland of insanity.
It's an
so
adventure
I've
going up
heard
there too.
many
The
great
drive up into those mountains.
Ooh,
It's at the
yeah.
like top. You're
Yeah.
middle of nowhere.
The high.
Cool. Yeah, that's the high part of the Sierra.
Yeah.
You got it.
You got it. Nailed it.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go to the interview now, and yeah, I don't know.
Let's see.
what
You
else
guys
to
got
say.
anything else to say? Anybody want to add?
Oh,
anything?
yeah. I was going to say,
Get a
you
little
know,
closer.
You hear a lot about Southern hospitality, but you never hear about the PNW hospitality.
shit.
And it's real. I tell you what, it's real here at No Simple Road. Thank you, guys.
Wait, is
Aw,
that
we love you
Pacific
guys.
and West? What is
Pacific
PNW?
Northwest.
Oh,
PNW.
PNW. I love
PNW.
PNW.
It's like PB and J, but different.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate that,
Lewis.
man.
And
Thank you,
like I
Lewis.
said on the front part, it's like we love doing this because you guys are out there busting your butts on the road to bring us entertainment, and it's the least we can do. Like it's like shows appreciation to have you guys here.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Much love, you guys, and all you guys out there. I think we already said it like 16 times, but here's 17. Go see them and buy their merch and
Tell your friends.
tell your friends,
Tell your family.
and buy tickets to their shows and support these guys. Follow them on all the following things and stuff and whatnot. So yeah, we're gonna get you to the interview. Here we go.
I dreamed I was a great crustacean, ruler of the seafood nation, a DJ on the sonar station. And then I woke up to a crab surprise. To a crab surprise. Well, I was scurrying along the murky surface. They caged me up and it made me nervous. In San Francisco, I found my purpose. Oh no, I never told my dad I loved him. You know I loved him. Well, they dropped me in the boiling pot, and then they steamed me up and they got me hot, and then they cracked me open. I'm wild, I'm caught. Where were you for the crab surprise? For the crab surprise. melted butter, and they served me up with chives and mustard, and then they threw my shells into the gutter, and now I'm dead. I'm the crab surprise. I'm the crab surprise. I'm the crab surprise. The crab surprise. Crab surprise. I'm the crab surprise.
Wow.
Highly trained professionals all around.
The hardest part of this.
On 3 hours sleep, I pulled it off.
Yes.
Yes. How's it going,
I
guys?
love. It's great. I love the room you guys are in.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
We have
Yeah.
this podcast actually started like
On the porch.
on our porch with like
It's a
mics
good place to do it.
bolted
Oh,
to
it
a
was
table.
great. It was
yeah.
the ambiance, the birds chirping, the little lawnmowers going off, all that stuff.
It got to the point where like every weekend it'd be silent out there, birds chirping, just chilling. The minute I would hit the record button, the dude next door would start with the fucking
Yes.
leaf blower. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Well, welcome to No Simple Road, you guys. Like I said
Yeah.
before, I'm Aaron.
Mel.
And Apple.
All right.
For
Cool.
for all the folks out there that can't see you, why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell them who you're with?
Sure. Hey, I'm Ryan. And here you go, Jake.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say a little more. I'm Jake. I'm Jake Vanaman. I play sax with Kendall Street Company. Ryan
Yeah.
plays drums with Kendall Street
I'm the
Company.
drummer.
Oh,
He's the drummer. So that's our quick background, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jam
Right
on,
on.
yeah.
So, guys, how long has Kendall Street Company been a band in this configuration?
And the band started about 9 years ago around this time. It was a slightly different lineup. We all met at the University of Virginia, just from different music backgrounds in the school. We came together and just started, playing every gig we could get our hands on. And then this particular lineup has been, what is it? Has it been about 5 years, Jake? 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, I joined in like 2016, and we had a keyboard player then, and we lost our keyboard player in 2019. And so I guess since 2019, we've been this 5-piece, but we were a 6-piece before that,
Okay.
and might become a 6-piece again, perhaps.
Uh-oh. And you play
Yeah.
keys sometimes too, right, Jake?
Yeah, I do play keys.
Okay.
I started doing that like in 2020. With the pandemic, I had a lot more free time, so I was missing the keyboard sound, and I liked synthesizers anyways, so I felt like it was a little bit natural. I don't try to recreate what was done, though. I just do it my own way.
Good.
Jake's done a great job
Yeah,
stepping
keep it that
into,
way. Yeah.
just a great job stepping into that role.
It's
Yeah, thank you, Ryan.
you guys, man. What you do is so unique
Yeah.
and cool. It's
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
It's like it's upbeat and relaxing at the same time. We had a little shindig last night, got home really late or early, whatever way you want to put it, and just like getting ready for the interview, listening, and it was just so groovy and perfect, and it put me in a great mood. And I just want to say thanks, guys, because I mean, there's nothing like amazing ambient music to kind of get you through your day, get you started, get you going. So thanks, guys.
That's awesome.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. That's a huge compliment. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, there's a big sound, but again, like I said, it's very easy to integrate into your day, which I love that. It's not like, okay, I love Tool, no hate on Tool, but I'm not going to put that on at 6 a.m. I'm just not going to do it, But like some kind of music like this, you can kind of take it with you through your day, and it's always appropriate. So yeah.
Sure. I think it's fun for us that between the 5 of us, we really have a very broad just sphere of what we're listening to at any point in time. Cool, just the amount of influences coming from all five of us. And I really think it's cool that it permeates into the music we make. And we tend to not say no to any genre and just kind of chase it down and say, what would happen if we let this influence a song or this influence a song. Or I think we kind of go back and forth throughout all of our releases on kind of what we're chasing at the time, or just kind of, I guess, letting each album be a little snapshot of kind of what's going on with us at that point in time.
That's cool, man. And like I said in the beginning, with your sound being unique, a lot of bands, when you put on an EP or an album, obviously there's multiple songs on it, but they're all kind of the same sound. With you guys, it's not that at all. Every song is its own vignette, kind of, and unique in and of itself. But like Mel said, when you put it together, it's a vibe. And I think that's when we were getting ready this morning, like I was thinking, I wonder, is that intentional to do that? Is that something that's intentional with you guys, or is that just what's coming out?
Well, I'm wondering if you have like any specific ones in mind that we could speak to, because I feel like I could pick any one.
Well, okay, like Disco Jam, that's one. It's a total vibe on its own. And then what was it? Hey,
Say Hey. That's why I was saying, you guys know how to have fun too. Like Say Hey, the cover of Rocky Raccoon.
Yeah, that one.
I mean, who does that? I mean, you guys.
Well, just to back it up. So starting with Home and Garden, right?
Oh, okay.
It's mellow. The vocals are kind of drony, and so I'm waiting for the whole album to be like that. Do you know what I mean? Like what's the Lou Reed kind of vocals along those lines, but then like they just said, like Say Hey, it's something completely different. So they're juxtaposed pieces, and I just wondered like if that's just what's coming out, or if that's like an intentional thing with you guys.
Well, I mean, I think that's a little bit of what I was saying before about we tend to not say no to any style or idea, and it's kind of fun to just pull from all those influences and just chase it down, decide to do something that's a little more synth heavy, or that kind of Lou Reed kind of vocal tone, or just that album in general. So the Year the Earth Stood Still, and it's a record. That was July of 2020. We were able to get like 6 or 7 days in a studio just outside of our hometown of Charlottesville. They gave us a really good deal because no one was
doing anything.
So they were like, "Hey, we would love it if just to fill the studio." It's the studios are happy places when there's bands working inside of them. So we were very lucky to be able to kind of fill that void. But we did something that we've never done before and have always wanted to do, is just go to a studio with pretty much zero ideas in mind.
Oh shit.
For what we wanted to get out of that week. And so, it was like, this is the opportunity to try something like this, not when the pressure's on to put out the material we've been releasing for a long time. So we went to the studio, and in 6 days we came out with 17 songs out of it. Some of it was from sitting around and workshopping actual songs. Some of it was just sitting down and just kind of doing these studio jams and being like, wow, some magic happened in that first take. And then from the 17 songs, we kind of divided it up into two records and then put them out throughout last year. Kind of one being a little more instrumental, kind of studio, ethereal, jazzy jam stuff. And then the other side being a little bit more rooted in songwriting. But I think it's really cool to listen to those two records with Home and Garden starting the second of the two. And just seeing that was a snapshot of like 6 days of just stuff that came out of us in that amount of time.
That's amazing.
That is pretty. No pre-writing at all. Just everything in that studio.
One song had pre-writing, like one song had pre-writing.
And there may have been a couple others that was a riff that was floating around in somebody's head for a while, but there wasn't
true. Yeah.
There wasn't really any like defined things going into it.
Jake, can you like talk a little bit about what the process is with doing that? I can't even imagine like going into the studio. Okay, you're paying for the time, which whether you're getting a good deal or not, you're still paying for the fucking time.
Yeah, you got a
in the
time.
studio. And you're like, okay, we're gonna just figure it out while we're here. Like, what does that even look like?
Well, we don't have to pay until the specific deal was we don't have to pay until we release it. And if we don't release it, it's no big deal, basically. So it's like it's more than a sweet deal. It's like an extremely perfect deal.
Yeah. Okay, so then
we
that
weren't really
pressure
afraid
wasn't on,
of losing anything going into it, other than our time, and that's what you're going to lose being an artist. So we were just confident that we were feeling creative enough in the moment that we were able to constrain it and create something specific to that feeling, to that time. And we walked in and it started like right away. You just sit down and it starts. Whoever starts making the first noise, whoever gets there first starts.
Wow.
So up until that time, had you guys gotten together like during the pandemic up until that July time?
We had gotten together. By that point, we had gotten together a couple times. But in the very beginning, we stayed apart from each other for like a month or at least a month and a half, like totally apart. And then we started seeing each other like once and outside, and a lot of outside stuff, meetings and whatnot. But it was still relatively intense in the beginning of the pandemic,
Yeah.
But the studio was in a farmhouse in the countryside, so it wasn't really a problem at all.
That doesn't sound intense. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So
it's a beautiful space.
I wonder, man, like for us, right at, in 2019, the show was picking up this momentum and like all this amazing shit was happening for us. And then COVID hit and we had to like stop like the rest of the world and take stock of what we were doing. And, I was like, my God, man, we have a music podcast and live music isn't happening. How do we do this? I don't know how to navigate. And like, it was scary. I didn't know if it was going to keep going and all that shit. How was that for you guys? Like going into that, were you going through that same shit?
Yeah. I mean, we were, it was going to be our best summer yet as a band, as far as the festival circuit. We were on the Lock-In lineup. We were on the Sweetwater 420 lineup. It was like, it was gearing up to be sweet. We had a record coming out called the Nautical Aquatical that it was going to be like the summer record, and we were going to tour a bunch of East Coast towns in the summer, and it was going to be sweet. And it all comes crashing down, but I'm personally a bit of an optimist, and I as crappy as it all felt, I was really just happy and proud of us for being so diligent about staying together and all having this like collective idea that we've come this far as a band, and we obviously are all in on making this work. And it was like, let's just use this time productively. We recorded a bunch of albums, wrote a bunch of material. We practiced 2 to 3 times a week generally. And I'm real happy that we kind of have come out on the other side, kind of hitting the ground running.
Wow. So you wasted no time.
We're still releasing music all throughout this year that we wrote during that time period. Not that time period's like really over yet.
Yeah.
But we kind of like, I identify it separately. I feel like we're kind of past the COVID songwriting stage now.
Okay.
I think as a band.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I think we've kind of talked about it a little bit. I'm done with it for sure. I'm over it. Yeah.
I think everybody in this room shares your feeling about being over it. Whether I'm writing songs about it or thinking about it, I'm over it, man. Fuck. That's hard when you've poured your creativity and your talent and your passion into something that you collectively as a group of guys love, and you're building this thing, and then the world tells you to stop. It's not like management told you, or a festival didn't pick you up, or the club closed. None of that shit. Like, no, the fucking world said stop. And it's like, well, fuck, what do I do now, man? What do I do with myself? And I think that one of the beautiful parts of that, like you just said, that you're still releasing music from that time period, is that we're getting to see all this really amazing art and music and creative stuff that has come out of that turmoil that we all went through. And when we get back to the festivals and the shows, I know I've noticed, how do I put this? Like, the vibe is different now, at least for me.
Yeah.
Do you guys, have you experienced that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's that, you don't know how good it is until it's gone kind of thing.
Yep.
So it's almost people are really trying to soak in the moments. You didn't even realize how much you'd miss when they're not there.
Yeah.
Well, and I think sometimes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, you go.
Well, I was just going to say, I think people don't realize when you are going to concerts and you have tickets for a month from now, and you have that you're looking forward to it, and you don't realize how much all of that whole process is doing for you, like the anticipation, excitement, planning, whether you're going to get a new outfit, whether you're going to drive, whether you're going to fly, like it's so all encompassing, and it's such a treat. And then when you don't have anything to plan for, all that's taken away. And when you go back, you're like, holy shit, it's so many different ways than just it elevated my mood. It's so many different things. It's like, wow, the talent of these, musicians, and oh my gosh, this venue is so gorgeous. And oh my God, these people are rad dancing next to me. Like, it really does kind of bring a new resurgence in all of humanity and all of the things that it takes to create what we're, the event that we're at.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite part of doing the touring band thing is just traveling and seeing the country and meeting people, and just seeing how every city is just a little bit of a different slice of life, or just there's a little bit, just a little nuance of culture throughout the country is really, really a beautiful thing.
Talking about your favorite things, what's the hardest thing about being a touring band? Minus COVID and all that bullshit. What's the hardest thing? Yeah, what's the toughest part, you guys?
I mean, objectively, like, it is expensive now more than ever to go on tour. Like, so with gas, like, being as expensive as it is right now, it's particularly rough. We get like 6 miles per gallon or something. I don't know, something ridiculous.
It's like 12.
Okay.
Like, wow, I'm so sorry for you guys.
That's still not a lot.
And we're trying to go to California in like 2 weeks. So I guess like we'll actually arrive there later than that, but we're going to start the process of getting there.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's like the biggest thing on our minds right now as we go on this biggest tour yet, like farthest tour, hitting a bunch of new markets, that's been the biggest like budgetary, concerns and like gambles and, taking risks and whatnot. But
I mean, obviously the toll on your body of just night after night is difficult. Although I do think that we've learned a lot from a bunch of years of doing it now. And so you get better at knowing what you're capable of, knowing, after how many nights in a row is it when everyone starts to kind of break down. And so from learning those kind of things, it's easier for us to kind of internally figure out, okay, well, we definitely want to be playing this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but let's try to, schedule in some off days. Let's try to schedule in some, short drives from city to city. Just like being smart about planning tours and routing and stuff is so crucial to making it be not so difficult on your body. But there's inevitably going to be days that the other day we drove overnight from Raleigh to Tuscaloosa, Alabama to play an afternoon show in Tuscaloosa, and you're driving through the night, and the only shining beacon of light is the Buc-ee's that you're gonna stop at.
Shit.
Outside of Birmingham.
It was great. It was tasty brisket in the morning.
Oh man.
Okay, so then what, like, despite or in spite of all of that, like, what's a friend? I want to hear from each of you. What's your personal motivation for keeping it going?
Do you want to go further for first on that one, Ryan, or you want me to?
Sure. I just derive so much joy from just being able to play the drums. And it's one of those things that, I try to take some amount of moment every single time we're playing live, regardless of the venue, regardless of the show, the crowd, anything going on, and just kind of remember that I feel really lucky that I'm playing drums for a living. And it just,
gratitude.
I don't know. That seems like it's simple, but it keeps me going. And it's like, I'm seeing the country, I'm playing the instrument that I love, and, playing with people I enjoy playing with. And
No, I was looking at your guys' Instagram earlier. You're just recently, there's a post, you're like playing the drums. It was like a dedication to your mouse or something, or
my cat.
To the cat.
To my mouse.
That's why I didn't want to I was like gonna scroll, and I'm like, I'll just ask because I forgot what it was. But you're like jamming, and I was like, what is this? He's just cracking up.
Yeah, he brings the mouse on tour with him, dude. He keeps it in his pocket.
Well, that just goes towards, like, you guys also, I mean, like anybody, you like to have a lot of fun. Your guys' Instagram is awesome. It's got it's got a lot of cuts.
I run the Instagram.
Good job,
Jake.
Good job.
It's got fun and like everything in it. It's very, very well done.
That means so much to me. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So what about you, Jake? What's your personal motivation for going through all of the turmoil and late nights and no sleep and all of that? Like, what's your internal reason?
I don't even think that there's turmoil. I have a blast all the time. Like, it doesn't, like, seldom do I get bothered on the road. Like, sometimes, you just like have a bad day or whatever, but we've gotten really good at scheduling the breaks, like Ryan said.
Yeah.
So I feel like great most of the time when I'm with the band and playing with them. They're my best friends. Like, I would hang out with them. I would hang out with them anyways, even if we weren't playing music together.
Right.
So, and I feel like I could just, like, I can't see myself not playing music. Like, I love making art. I love making art in all capacities. And I think that we make art well together.
Yes.
This group of people. So I love bringing my ideas to them, and, there's no one else I'd rather share them with. Like, so there's like a lot of trust in the family,
That's awesome.
It just feels natural that there's not a question like, why would I leave? Like,
yeah. What else would I do?
This is what you do.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
And I just love making art, and I love making music, and this is a great vehicle for making great art, I think. So
that's great too. Yeah. You say that they're your best friends. You'd hang out with them anyway. That's how we are.
Yeah.
Me and Mary, I'm going to be 53 next week. Aaron's 50. We've been friends since we were like 12 and 14. And then Mel and Aaron have been together for 20, going on 25 years.
25, yeah.
So, I mean, we're all like best friends. Amazing. And just started doing this because we used to sit on the patio and talk about and listen to music. And then Aaron's son bought him a microphone and was like, you should start recording this. You guys talk all the time. I'm not into what you guys are doing, but somebody might be. So,
he was right.
So, I mean, that's, we would be doing this anyway. We'd be sitting on the porch listening to music today and talking about it.
Well, and one of the coolest parts of it is like finding new music.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with you guys, it was like, oh, fuck, of course. Like, why hadn't I heard of this? Like, I should have been listening to this already. And I was excited. Am excited to like get it out to the people that listen to this show, because I know they're going to vibe with it.
Yes.
And
sweet.
Whenever you're starting something, like back 9 years ago when you guys started the band, and you just want to do the thing. You know what I mean? It's just you fucking. I just want to play drums. I just want to play keys and sax. Like that. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Yeah. And then there's stuff that comes in as you continue going. Like now you have a publicist. You know what I mean? You've got management now. You've got and like you don't see the thing happening when you're inside of it. And if you occasionally step outside and look and be like, holy shit, if the 15-year-old me would have seen what I'm doing right now, he would have shit his pants. Like there's no way. Do you guys like feel the momentum that's behind you? Because I mean, I can see it just from looking on social media and talking to people when I told them that you were going to be on the show. Like there's momentum behind you. Do you guys feel that being inside of it right now?
I do feel it, but I think you make a great point that it is like really hard to feel it when you're on the inside. Like, you have to constantly be humbling ourselves, I think, and you have to be careful of like ego and whatnot, because it gets in the way of great art. So I feel it, but like I'm wary of feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to be careful of letting
it's still
myself.
Like it's surreal sometimes when
yeah.
Like if I'll have a friend every once in a while, like someone in Denver, Colorado, and it's like, yo, I saw a Kendall Street shirt today in the wild. And
in the wild.
It blows my mind. It still blows my mind.
Yeah, we went to a festival down in California,
Skull and Roses
Festival, and on the second day we walked in the bowl and there's a dude wearing a No Simple Road shirt, and I was like, holy shit. I just saw that. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying about like you don't want to pay too much attention to that thing.
Well, where's the happy medium? Because we need ego. I think a lot of people are always like wanting to crucify it and get rid of it and minimize it.
You got to feed it some.
We need to be BFFs with it. We really do. We need to have a certain understanding, because that ego will give you that like that surety that you can fucking do what you need to do. That, like I've trained, I'm more than proficient. I'm throwing out this jam. People are going to dance. But then at the same time, you can't be like, I'm the shit and wait till I get here.
Like,
there's like a certain like, these nuances of trying to have a balance, what do you guys do to keep that balance? Because like I said, ego's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I think of it like you want to go, Ryan?
I was just going to say I think it's just confidence.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just balancing confidence without being
a dick.
A dick.
Without being a dick. Yeah. Pretty much.
It's.
I was just gonna say, I think of it like a kind of like a cycle, like an ego cycle. This is what our next record is about, kind of.
Oh, wow.
So I've been thinking about it recently. So I think it's just like knowing. Yeah. Sorry. There's an EP, and then it's that next record, which is an LP. Yeah. So there's two things coming out this year, I think. So anyways, I think it's just like being aware of like where you are on that cycle. Like if you're feeling confident, like, or like feeling like braggadocio, and there's just ups and downs of it. I don't know. Just musing on it recently. So
yeah. Now I've got a question, because this is always fun. Because we don't know till we're coming on who we're going to get in the band, and it's always fun to ask you two to talk here. So we're missing Lewis, Ben, and who else are we missing?
And Brian.
And Brian. What do you guys had to talk about your bandmates for a minute? Good, bad, whatever, because they're going to hear this later. Sometimes there's some funny stories. I'm just curious.
We played a gig yesterday, and there were a bunch of kids there, and they were hanging out during the sound check. And a bunch of these kids were hanging around Brian, and this one little kid went up to Brian and said, "I'll give you $1 if you tell me who your favorite and least favorite bandmate is."
Oh, oh,
$1.
Like, man, kids know how to get.
Yeah, they know how to word it.
The same kids came up to me and just started saying Rick Astley. Just started saying it over and over again to me. And I was like, why are you saying this to me? Are you talking about like the meme? Like, and they were like, "You look like him," and I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." I guess that's the first time I've gotten that, but it was the same children, I think.
Yeah,
Somebody needs to get
That
those
sounds
kids
like a
fucking
good.
reined in.
Yeah, is that the same group that was on the Instagram? Brian is like wearing. He looks like a priest or something almost.
Oh yeah, so you want to? So the rest of the band members. So that's usually what Brian is wearing. If it's warm outside, he has a whole collection of tunics and dashikis and things like that.
So you can be nice and comfy. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Apple would do it.
fashionable and comfy and yeah. I don't know. It's tough. I guess
He loves weird time signature music, and he likes like loud things generally, I think. Yeah.
Brian likes the absurd, you know what I mean?
Okay, who's the band member that like you don't want driving late at night?
I don't know. What's nice is all five of us drive a good amount.
Oh, that's good.
That makes
I
it
do the
good.
most. I do the most driving, but
It's okay. It's okay if you want to say me, Ryan. It's okay if you want to say me.
no. I was gonna say I feel I can sleep just fine with it at the wheel. There's nobody that I'm like, you know.
That's good. So you trust everybody. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
everybody's got it on lock.
Yeah. Until you have that bust.
Yeah, and I'm not just saying this on the podcast, which is nice. Is thankfully everybody's a good driver.
Yeah, everybody's a good driver.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Just everybody has such different flavors, and like meeting the five of us, I really think everybody has kind of fairly uniquely different personalities in different ways. But it's just fun to get to see the personalities. Lewis is the guy who just comes up with that ridiculous thing. Or he says something ridiculous that sounds weird in the moment, and then he just drives it home until it's like it's like
we're gonna make
or like a stupid song lyric that just ends up being like the absolute perfect thing.
Yeah.
And
then Lewis was one of the founding members too, right? In the beginning.
It was the Lewis Smith band at first, because Lewis was even back in high school was playing acoustic guitars in bars, just doing like solo gigs, and he came to UVA with a friend of his that played saxophone. They were roommates. The saxophone player and I were both in the marching band at UVA. I got to know him from that, and then we got together from there. They found Brian and they found Brian.
Well, good.
He was
Brian was lost
behind the couch.
Yeah, he's like the student. He was in the student record label. They were kind of dabbling with just meeting some people through there, and met Brian, and kind of it was me, Lewis, Brian, and our original saxophone player Andrew were the first four. But yeah, who are we talking? Lewis, Brian.
Yeah, you were on Lewis, and we haven't heard anything about Ben yet.
Yeah, Ben.
What should we say about Ben? Yeah,
Ben just plays really tasty electric guitar.
There. Okay,
I would have to agree, and I've never even met him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Generally, my feelings is Ben just like plays solos, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't know, that was great.
Wow.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite guitar players. I tell him that all the time too.
Oh.
Yeah.
How lucky.
You got to.
How fucking lucky to like that's true. Do you know what I mean? Like you get to play music with one of your favorite guitar players. That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty fun. Yeah.
You guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you just do something with Tom Marshall and RJ?
Yeah, we did a show at Champion Brewing, like an evening show, nice outdoor area, and they, I think, are gonna put the whole show on a podcast. I'm not exactly sure what the final product is, but we got interviewed by them as well as like recorded the show. So
Yeah,
yeah.
you guys are making the Osiris rounds.
yeah.
It was sweet. It was a great show. It was, like 75 degrees,
Oh,
just
wow.
beautiful day, a bunch of, it's in our hometown of Charlottesville, but
Yeah.
that's a real hot spot for just kind of locals to hang out. It's a real nice, cool pub vibe. And it was just really cool. The revolving door of just Charlottesville people coming in, fans of us coming to see the show, Fish fans coming to meet Tom Marshall. And it was a great day. I really had a wonderful time doing that.
That's really cool, man. They have been like, the Osiris thing has been so cool and so good for us. And like that,
Cool.
Doing the live thing, like, did you play and then get interviewed by them, or did it go the other way around?
We played, and then on the break we got like a 15-minute interview, and then we played again.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So is it tough? Like, I had the idea a while back to like make a whole show out of it. So like, instead of just like, we'll use you guys for instance, instead of just coming to see Kendall Street Company play, you're going to see Kendall Street Company get interviewed by No Simple Road and then play, or the other way around. I haven't quite figured it out. And then I started talking to some bands about it, and they were like, it's a great idea, but it's tough for us because we have our pre-show, our set break things that we do. You know what I mean? Like, is that tough to do that, to pivot to being interviewed right after playing like that?
It wasn't like immediately after. I think we took like 2 minutes and then like set up some chairs, and which, I mean, 2 minutes to me feels like a long time,
Right.
like after having played. Like, that's a nice little break, 2-minute break.
It's quiet for 2 minutes. Yeah.
It didn't feel super pressured to me. We have a pretty casual approach to the stage. We're all up there chilling on our rugs barefoot. We got to take time to put our shoes on anyways. But I think it's a great idea for what it's worth. I think having it sandwiched in between two sets is a better idea, though. I think hearing about the music, hearing the music, and then hearing about the music, and then hearing the music again with the new context.
Yeah. Yes. So, but logistically, would you want to be interviewed right after your first set when you should be like chilling and taking a break?
But that is.
I mean, you are chilling, but like,
You got to
off
put your shoes on.
I guess how much off stage do you need in between to really feel like jazz and pumped?
We took a nice like 20 minutes after the interview.
Okay.
Oh, was it that long? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so. I don't know.
2 minutes, 20 minutes.
I have no idea.
It was a blur. We had a couple shower beers.
We can promise right now.
That's the name of it.
When
2 minutes, 20 minutes.
Right.
Who cares? It's all the same.
Well, when we catch up to you guys, and if we do this with you, we promise we won't make you put your shoes on.
Yeah,
we'll take our shoes off, and we'll do like the barefoot interview because I don't like shoes really either.
Wow, yeah, that's great.
I like that.
One of the cool things that like was a byproduct of doing this was we hang out and talk to people like this, right? Artists, and then go see them play. And the experience of seeing them play is completely different when you know them. Like, you're rooting for your friend up there, and you understand the music on a completely different level than you did prior. And so the experience of being at the live show is heightened. And so that was my idea, was like, well, if this is happening for me, how can I make this happen for the people that are listening, and do it in a live setting to where that's a great idea. Like, now the second set's really going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And as a huge music fan myself, like, I know any situation that I've gone to a concert that was a unique situation where there is some sort of like, interview with the band or just something quirky where you feel like you're seeing just a little bit more of a snapshot into the band. Those are the shows that just stick out in my mind of,
absolutely.
And
shows that you've gone to. Yeah.
Not for nothing, set break is weird. So
set break is
weird.
Give him something to focus on.
Who was it? One of our friends said that So when set break comes out, when the lights come on at set break and everybody looks like they need an ambulance for a minute, big wide eyes and like sweaty and then like they don't want to look at each other in the eye really.
You're like, oh God, I was doing that next to you.
Yeah. Yes. Could be very fun.
I saw Faye Webster at the Jefferson Theater in Charlottesville a few months ago, and she had somebody come out and play yo-yo or like use a yo-yo. Is it play yo-yo?
I mean, you play with it.
Well, I think it's two yo-yo.
You play two
yo-yo. Somebody yo-yo.
Somebody came out and yo-yoed, and it was awesome. It happened in between songs while they were like tuning or changing guitars or something, and it went on for like 5 or 6 minutes. I was like, that would be great for set break.
Yeah,
We've
a little
also thought about
entertainment.
magicians, but
Yes.
magicians are hard to see from far away. So you'd have to have like cameras, maybe.
Yeah, hire Siegfried and Roy.
That was
Other
somebody
dad.
did that a while back, didn't they? Like we talked to Pappy. Remember from Cabinet? Yeah. They had like a
nice.
walking magician in the crowd and was doing.
That's cool.
Yeah. I love that because it's
Some kind of
more of a
entertainment.
production. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's a show, but like it's added. It's a little something.
Yeah.
I think anything that breaks the weirdness of that 40-minute span of time is a great idea. But like, having a yo-yo going on stage, that's fucking brilliant. Like I gotta ask, like when they came on and started doing it, were you like, is this serious? Are they serious right now? Like, is this happening? Was it like that?
I mean, you could tell that he was going to be a monster on the yo-yo. As soon as he started, it was like, yeah, he knows what he's doing. Like,
Wait, hold on, Jake.
If he had a guitar, you could tell.
What are the qualities of someone that looks like they're about to rip a yo-yo?
Yeah, monster.
I'll have to find the video. Yeah. I don't know. They just looked ready to go. Like they had done it before and they knew they were about to rock the crowd. And they did.
You don't walk
That
out on
confidence.
stage timidly holding your yo-yo. I mean, come on.
Well, and you can tell us somebody's good at yo-yo pretty much right away. Yo-yos are dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. I know I had several yo-yos. I ended up giving away to our friends' kids because I hurt myself too many times and I wasn't that good.
So give it to the kids.
Yeah,
They hurt themselves.
yeah. Well, hopefully
Way
they
to
get
go.
good at it and they're up on stage someday.
I don't know. How did we end up with the
Yo-yo?
yo-yos, man? Hey,
Talking about-
I love it.
But we were talking
Separate
about
and-
separate.
Yeah.
And that, yeah.
Yeah, talking about set break. Yeah.
So
I mean, you know he's going to be
Which band member were we
good.
talking-
Yeah.
Which band member were we talking about?
no,
We're talking about Ben.
Yeah, we
Ben.
were. Ben was the last one we were talking about.
Ben plays tasty guitar.
Yeah, which we all agreed. He does play tasty
Yeah.
guitar. That
Right on, Ben.
So
Ben inspires me to lift weights. as
Oh,
well.
yeah?
I appreciate him for that. Yeah.
Right on,
Yeah.
Ben. Little
We have
inspiration.
this thing where we text each other like, oh, do like 20 push-ups right now. And then it's like a way to keep ourselves
That's great.
physically fit.
He's generally the first one to wake up, and we'll go get a run in the morning.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
So he's the healthiest guy. Like,
Yeah, I'd say so, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd probably say so.
well, that's one thing we hear a lot about when we were asking earlier, like, what's hard on tour. The one thing we hear mostly, and it's mostly from dudes too. Do we hear it from girls? Seem to be able to
handle it.
a little better and plan, but like eating on the road like that, like you guys said, Bucky, you're rolling to Bucky's, and oh my God, they got everything in the world plus some.
Yeah,
And you guys find that hard to eat well on the road?
it's yeah, and it depends on where we're going. It's like when I'm at home, I tend to only cook vegetarian, but like when I'm out on the road, I kind of eat whatever. But I notice like whenever we go through the deep South, it's so hard to not just have deep fried food, barbecue over and over again. And by like day 3 or 4, my stomach is so wrecked.
Yeah.
And often you're just like, I'm so hungry. It's a bag of potato chips. Okay. And then,
Yeah, you know what?
when we're in New York City, I'm spending a whole lot of money on food, but I'm eating, gourmet bagels with, lox and cream cheese and just the right, just so good. But,
So what are you guys most looking forward to this summer?
I I get to, I think all of us get to go to states that we've never been to before, from from Seattle to Portland to Boise, Idaho, to we've never played in California before. We've been to California, but never played in California. And so I'm just excited to check off a bunch of new.
Yeah.
I saw that we're in Portland, Oregon. I saw you guys are going to be here. It's
cool.
like on the 19th or something. You're playing Doug Fir.
The June?
I'm not sure. I could check.
Okay.
We're playing the Doug Fir there.
Do you guys
Yeah,
already have somewhere
19th.
you're do you have somewhere you're staying?
Hey, don't
Not yet. No.
Do you guys
Probably
need
not.
a place to stay?
wait.
We would love a place to stay.
You've got a place to stay.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
That's
Sounds
on
amazing.
Father's Day.
Thank you. That's one of the beauties of the road
19th.
life too, is the
Hospitality.
Just the wonderful people who offer up a place to stay, and it really helps with the toil and the expense of the road life.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, it's
man.
awesome. It makes us feel good too, because when we first started doing it, we threw it out there, and it's like nobody's going to want to come stay with us. They get hotel room. In the beginning, we're thinking like, oh, they got all this money for nice hotels, this and that. And then we quickly found out it's like, no, we're going to be sleeping in the van, like leaning on each other because we're, saving money. And it's like, we have a washing machine. We're great hosts. We have a nice spot. We just had Apollo Suns. They were down from Canada, and there was not the whole group, but there were 6 of them. We're like, this is the most people you ever had. Can we pull? And they were all so comfortable and so happy to have their own, bed and stuff. And just be able to catch up. They're all calling their partners. They're like, this is the best thing ever. Like, you guys don't need to entertain us or anything. It's just nice to catch our
Ed was
breath.
like, this is the best fucking Airbnb ever.
Yeah.
There's a thing near us. So right near Charlottesville is the Appalachian Trail goes through.
Okay.
And we've had a number of friends that have, or I know a number of people that have like hiked the whole trail. And there's a thing called trail angels, where people who have hiked the trail in the past will go to the trail and drop off like a 6-pack of beer, or like have a bunch of snacks or food or water or something. And so they're called trail angels. So you guys are like
road angels.
Yeah.
Trail
Our
Angels.
pleasure.
I love
Yeah.
that. Trail Angels.
When we're done, I'll after I stop recording, I'll give you guys my phone number, and then just hit me up, and I'll give you the address and stuff.
You don't want to share it with everybody? You don't wanna,
not
you don't
really.
wanna share it with
Not-
all the bands? All the bands?
Not right away. One at a time.
Yeah. We have a strict vetting process that we have to go through.
Okay.
And I need to see your reviews.
45 minutes of conversation.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're fine. They're good.
So I wanted to ask about the Rocky Raccoon thing. So we have I guess he's a co-worker, a collaborator that works with us, this guy Jeff Firewalker Schmidt, and him and John Medeski and a couple of other people recently redid Imagine, right? And when he came up with the idea to redo Imagine, Medeski was like, dude, you're crazy. Like, you can't redo that song. Like, that's a sacred cow kind of a thing. And Beatles music is a lot like that. What did you get any shit for that, or was there any kind of like anything from doing that?
Not that we've heard.
That's okay,
The only person I know who really doesn't like it. The only person I know who really doesn't like it is Brian's dad. Brian's dad really does not like that cover of Rocky Raccoon. He hates it. He hates it. No, he says he hates it. He says he really does. He's never liked it. We've played that cover for years.
Oh my god.
And Brian's like, when we play in DC, he's like, we shouldn't play it because my dad's here.
Oh my god.
It's kind of funny. He's the only person. Everybody else loves it. Everybody else, they've said nice things about it.
I gotta follow.
I'm serious. It's really funny.
Is it because he's a Beatles fan and he didn't think it should have been done, or he just doesn't like it?
I think so.
I think he just doesn't like it.
I do know he's a big Beatles
like it.
fan.
Okay.
Jake, I love how honest you're. Like, no, he just doesn't freaking like it.
I dig it, man.
Well, Brian's dad is honest with us, so
Hey,
you know.
no, you need people that are honest in your corner. especially when you start
But
taking flight a little bit. Even if it's just an opinion, right? Like opinions are not facts; they're an opinion. But if
certainly.
you respect somebody, and they give you their opinion, you take it into account a little bit.
Or you want to really mess with them, and the next time you're in DC, be like, this one goes out to Brian's dad.
45-minute Rocky Raccoon set.
Oh man, yeah, it's definitely been considered. It's been considered.
Yeah, sandwich it like the opener and the closer.
Hell
you know.
It's like how the
Rocky Raccoon
reprise.
reprise.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Jake,
Right
before
on.
we go, can you tell me a little bit about the music that you guys are working on now and what's getting ready to come out?
Yeah, so the next thing that comes out is actually coming out this week.
Okay.
It's on the 26th. It's our first single from the next EP, which is called the Untitled California Project.
Okay.
And the first single is called California Number 24. And that is alluding to the fact that there are upwards of 70,000 California songs that we wrote, and we had to pare it down to the best 6. So that's what the EP will contain.
Oh wow.
This one happens to be number 24, and you'll have to just wait to find out the numbers of the others, I suppose.
Right
Okay.
on. That's fun.
That's rad. And
then the full project comes out in the end of June. Yeah, June 23rd.
It is our it is our ode to California as written by 5 East Coasters who have spent almost no time in California.
fuck yeah,
Okay.
I'm down. I'm in.
Right on.
I got a question too, because I didn't know if this was a misprint or not. We're used to West Coast shows are, spread far apart. On May 27th, Friday, you guys are actually playing 2 festivals in the same day?
So that are you getting that off our website?
Yeah, one of summer camp on Friday, and then also the Rooster Walk Music and Arts Festival.
Walk, yeah.
One's in Illinois,
It's how
one's in
bands in
Virginia.
town populates, unfortunately, on our website. We're playing both festivals, but both festivals are the full weekend, so they start on the 27th.
Okay, I just thought, I was like, wow, that's ambitious
Thursday
right there.
And Rooster Walk on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, that's
being
crazy.
Said, it is a drive from Illinois back to Virginia in a short amount of time.
Okay.
And
it's a quick turnaround.
be in the sun all day and then play, hop in the car, hurry up and go do it again.
Yeah, and then you're coming out this way. You're playing High Sierra Music Festival.
High Sierra was great.
Have you been before?
You're gonna
gig in California.
You're gonna love it.
Wow,
Quincy
your
is
first one?
way up in the mountains. We went there in 2018. It's great. It's a great
Sweet.
area.
Yeah, that festival's amazing, and there's a lot of history there too. Like the High Sierra has been around for a long time, and a lot of amazing people have played there, and the grounds of that place are just it's so nice. You guys are gonna have such a blast. It's gonna be super cool.
And it is in the middle of nowhere at the top of the mountain.
Bring supplies.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. So where can
I can't wait.
Where can
It's
everybody?
great. You're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, for sure. Where can everybody follow you guys and find out about your music and all that?
All tour dates on our website, kendallstreetcompany.com. Follow us on Instagram. We're on TikTok too, like Facebook, the usuals, social media and whatnot. You can join our email list. Ben writes custom emails once or twice a month that are pretty good in my opinion. So if you want to hear Ben's voice directly about what he thinks about what's going on in the band, subscribe to the email list.
And Ben is the creative writer of the band too.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna sign up
That's
just
his
for that.
strong suit.
Yeah, that's
Such-
cool.
I heard the last one was particularly good. So
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna have to sign up.
I just want to say thanks. Thanks for what
Absolutely.
you do and for
taking the time with
for
us
hanging
today.
out with us. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, give
Thanks
all
for
the.
what you do.
I had one more comment about Home and Garden and Say Hey.
Yeah.
I feel like we never circled back to that. I don't remember exactly how it went down, but I think that I came up with the Say Hey keyboard lick the same day that later that night around 1 or 2 a.m. We wrote Home and Garden. And if you listen to the keyboard parts, they're very like similar and like related to each other, I think. And I guess it's like a organelle is technically the instrument I'm playing on Home and Garden. And so I just feel like it was interesting that you picked those two specifically because they are so different in tone, but yet they use like similar harmonic and melodic motion, but totally different outcomes of the same emotion. And it's both Brian singing too, which is like 50-50 these days, I'd say.
Okay.
That's something that
I'm going to go back and listen again.
Yeah, well, it's something that makes a band even more interesting is when it's not just one person singing all the time. When everybody can kind of dip in and out and carry the load there, it's cool.
We've got all 5 of us singing at different times these days.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask because like on your website, Ryan, you get no credit for vocals. The other 4 do, but it doesn't say vocals for you. But you,
I guess we got to update. We got to update it.
Okay,
update. You got to update, guys.
Go, Apple. Now we just quit the band.
You tried it. Oh, now I created beef. I'm sorry, man. Oh, I just noticed. I was like, all of them
give
sing.
Ryan credit.
Oh, except for the drummer.
Kendall
I was
Street
like,
Company went on No Simple Road. Now they're not playing anymore. I don't know what happened. Right on, you guys.
They let the drummer have a microphone.
That's right. That's right.
All right, man. We'll give all.
Ryan sings live lead, but Ryan, have you sung lead on anything in the recording studio? In the studio?
Not on a recording. Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's.
Yeah, we had to do that. We got to get that one.
Yeah. We all want to hear it.
I've been doing a cover of Dr. Worm by They Might Be Giants, which has always been a favorite song of mine. About a worm who plays the drums.
Oh my gosh, cute.
I recommend check out Dr. Worm.
Okay.
Dr. Worm. Okay.
We're headed out to the porch to listen to Dr. Worm right now.
Well, tell the rest of the guys we send our love. We look forward to seeing you guys up here in the Pacific Northwest, man. Safe travels.
Sweet.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
all right,
man.
guys.
We'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Shoot me a text.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll do.
Heck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Kendall Street Company.
There we go.
Boom. You know, we talked to musicians about like being on tour and it being difficult and like, you know, the rigors of the road and blah, blah, blah. And we've talked to them before about like, you know, how do you do it when you've been on the road for days and you're exhausted and like, and they'll always say like, I don't know, man, like you get up, you feel like shit. And then the minute you get on that stage, something just takes over and it kicks in and you just do it. And this interview was that 1000% for me. I was before this, like I didn't sleep much last night and whatever. And before I was standing outside, just kind of like spacing out, thinking I'm so tired. I don't know how I'm going to get through this.
You were staring at the sky and you did a stutter start.
Yeah.
You almost fell backwards a little and you're like, oh, I'm awake.
Yeah. And the minute we got on the call with them, it was like wide awake, ready to go. That was really fun.
Yeah. That was a fun conversation with them. Of course. That'll be fun too. They're coming up here to see them, meet the rest of the band. Those little cuties.
What do you think? No?
I loved it. I loved that we woke up and started our day with them, with their music. And I just appreciate every time we get to spend an hour with a band that's touring. Like I don't think that we realize how precious that is. You know, sometimes, I mean, they were both home, but sometimes they're doing it in their van or they're like outside, a hot spot outside or some shit. And I just really appreciate that what we get to do and the time that the bands take with us, whether it's one or the whole band. It's a big deal, and I don't take it for granted. I don't take it lightly.
No,
you know?
and an hour is a big give when you're as busy as they are and stuff.
Yeah, they could be practicing. They could be driving.
Sleeping.
He said 2 minutes is a really long time.
I know.
Jake did. He's like 2 minutes is a really long time when you're taking a break between
Sure
sets.
is.
So
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Think about when the music's going. If you stop the music at a show for 2 minutes,
and you're able to,
everybody's like milling around.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
Antsy,
one as a musician, you're able to stretch a little and work it. Stretch.
Yeah, I just feel gratitude for what we do, and just specifically, especially when it's a big band and you get multiple guys on, like that's all of them giving their attention to us and, sharing.
And especially when it's fun like that and we're laughing and hanging out. I love that shit.
Yeah.
It's the best. All right, everybody, don't go anywhere. We're not done. We're gonna do a quick we're gonna give
little ad.
How do you say it? Like, because it's not a word from our sponsor.
Yeah, well, it's a little advertisement insertion.
Yeah. We're going to insert an ad into you right now.
Hey, guys, our commercial's coming up next. Listen and then stay tuned for us.
There it is.
Yeah, there we go.
Thanks.
Mel handled that well.
And here we are inserting.
We are inserting.
What are we inserting?
Inserted, Apple.
Well, I hope that people, want to take care of themselves like we do, your, head and your body and everything. One way you can do that is going to Define Premium Cannabis.
Define Premium Cannabis.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it sounds like. We define your cannabis experience. So,
how do you do that?
Well, first of all, if you're up in the Portland area, you need to come visit us in person at Hillsboro or Forest Grove, and we will get you suited with the product you need, or anybody in your family may need. I know I've got my mom and dad onto the lotions and everything.
Your mom uses weed cream.
Yeah, my mom does use weed cream. There's something for everybody to help you in these trying times of trying to stay balanced and focused and taking care of yourself. So if you come in, make sure you mention you are a listener of No Simple Road. We will give you a 10% discount, a free t-shirt, which can be worn back to stack on top of that for a 15%. And we will take our time to get you headed out the door with a smile on your face and on the road to feeling good.
Man,
Define Premium Cannabis.
I'm telling you, man, there is nothing better than free clothes and a discount on weed.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
I get kind of a blockhead look, I noticed on camera, and I can't do anything about it. Other than like if I did the like pushing the but like and you get the ew.
You would look rad with a dope comb over.
Hell
with a dope comb over with the headphones holding in place.
You could do a comb over too, babe.
I could.
Get the hairspray.
What if we all did a comb over one day? I could do it. We'll all do it.
Let's get one of those big
Hey
cans
everybody,
of
we're back.
Aquanet.
This is us talking about Apple's hair.
Blockhead.
Yeah, get that Aquanet, paste my bangs to my forehead, the comb over.
Welcome to the back of the show.
And there's Mel's song.
Thank you for being with us. Yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry, everybody.
Or you're welcome, everybody.
Yeah,
you're welcome. Thanks for tuning in and listening to that dope interview.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I hope that everybody understands that Kendall Street Company is amazing. That's
I think they do after that. After that intro, after that song, after the interview, they're killing it.
And this is all very exciting because look behind the scenes. Like we're sitting here recording this on Saturday for release later this week. We're going to see Kendall Street Company tomorrow night at the Doug Fir up here in Portland, and they're coming to stay with us. So, we got to give a nice safe harbor, a little home cooking and stuff like that to another band that's out there on the road trying to make this work with the gas prices, everything up. It is tough being a touring band right now. So you make sure you go out and you support these guys.
Buy their merch.
All the other live music that you love. Yeah, buy their merch. That's very important.
You don't think about it, but like for a band that's on tour, and I didn't really understand this or know this until we started doing No Simple Road, but like the money that the band makes to keep going comes from the merch table and the door. And the door at a club, especially a smaller club, is not that much. It's enough to barely cover gas to the next
usually
fucking
like
place.
a $15 ticket, $25 ticket, nothing big.
It was $50 something for the three of us to go see them.
So look at that.
Yeah, $15 a piece, and they got 2 bands opening for them. So you're going to see 3 bands play in one night for $15 a person.
Yeah, man. So they're not making shit.
So donations, merch, any kind of stuff that's gonna boot them up so that they can go to their next location with a full tank in more ways than one.
And then you become a trail angel.
You do become a trail angel
and a tour angel.
Yeah.
You know, it's important, man. Like, and we've said this before, these bands are putting they're putting their livelihood on the line to make sure that their art gets out into the world and entertain us and give us experience. And that's not small, especially right now when the world is fucking nuts. They are providing solace for us in a very weird, hard time in the world. And so whatever we can do, if we can afford to buy a t-shirt from them or pay to go see them or whatever, we should be doing it because it's keeping the music alive and it's keeping these bands fed, gassed up, and on to the next city. And as fans of the music, that's the least we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing a lot of bands are doing too, which I know a lot of people out there love, is the, you know, the resurgence over the past few years, well, many years of vinyl.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's not a cheap thing either to go in and get vinyl pressed because they're usually doing it in like dope colors, some special pressing. So, you know, did that too. Go make sure you hit the merch table, get that vinyl because it's dope. And it also just reminds me of growing up when there was nothing, you went and that's what you got was LPs.
Well, another cool thing that a lot of bands are also doing, in addition to performing and touring, is doing stuff on Instagram and Facebook and all these social medias. They're like doing all these recordings and extra videos. That is a lot of time and effort that they're putting in. And so none of that stuff is getting paid. None of that back end stuff is getting paid.
Mm-mm.
So just remember that when you're, like we were saying in the beginning, if you're consuming No Simple Road, if you're consuming Kendall Street Company, go ahead and think about buying some merch and like doing that for people in the music business that keep our time like occupied with our song buddies.
Well, and here's the other thing too, just take a second. It's just a thought experiment thing. Like, just take a second and imagine your life and the world without music, without these bands performing, without being able to seriously, without
I know,
without seeing them on social media, without your favorite podcast to be able to listen to, without any of that. It would be
without entertainment. Think about your life without entertainment.
It would be very hard.
All of us go to the bathroom with our phone. All of us. I don't
care.
like
taking a 90s shit. No.
I'm just saying most people do. Oh, maybe not all. Okay, 90% of us, right? And then all of us, when we get in our car, what do? Radio's on somehow or another. When we get home and we want to watch a cool movie, what do? Turn it on. It's entertainment. Entertainment is with us all the time. And it's so much a part of us that we kind of forget that it's entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And we think
it becomes ubiquitous.
It does. But really, entertainment is a necessity, not a luxury. Maybe you won't die because of it, but you become gray without it.
But it is therapeutic. That's
even
for sure.
Before social media, the advent of the phonograph, and there was entertainment. Let's go back to even when we lived in tribal society before modern civilization. There was entertainment. There was the hoop dances. There was powwow. Mm-hmm. There was storytelling. The bard would come to town. The minstrel. And
costume and performance and all of that. So, yeah, I don't know why we're so passionate about it this week, but it's festival season and things are back after the pandemic and things are getting rolling. And so it's a good way to look at it again with a pair of fresh eyes.
And it just really like underscores the line from Grateful Dead song, "Put your money where your love is, baby." It's important. You know, money is such a weird construct all by itself.
What if we were like, will you please give us your pine needles? Like if that was the currency.
Well, if I dug ditches all day and I got paid in pine needles and could go buy milk with them,
I know.
That would become
no,
currency.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that paper in this shape is currency, but now it's digital. Or
even ones and zeros. Yeah, plastic. No. I trip out every time I go to the store and like the groceries go on the thing and the guy makes this machine beep a few times and then he looks at me and he tells me a number and I get a plastic card and I put it in this machine and nothing happens, and then a beep goes, and he's like, "Okay, you can leave now." What the fuck
Here's
just
your
happened?
receipt.
That's why I personally.
Here's a piece of paper.
I wish bartering was allowed, like at the grocery store. Like you guys, like that's $88.20. You're like, no, I'll give you $48.30, and then you haggle. But
I'll give you $48.30 and my cool wallet that I made.
Bartering is alive and well in a lot of arenas, and I encourage you to find a lot of bartering anywhere you can. But until then, it's ones and zeros and bills.
Yeah.
So thank you for supporting.
The one thing that we always ask, I'm going to ask it again right here, because something that cannot be matched is word of mouth. Like you just listened to this awesome interview. You've heard some of Kendall Street Company's music. So pass that on along with us. Like tell somebody, everybody out there knows somebody you love or is a friend. Tell them about No Simple Road. Tell them about what you hear on it, because that's the way it really spreads.
Yep. Word of mouth is the original social media.
Yeah, and it costs nothing other than turning people on to stuff that you love, you know.
So, here's the thing. It's just like Mel said, I don't know why we're all up on it this week. I think maybe because these guys are coming to stay with us, and we were out on the deck over here talking about, like, can you imagine traveling right now consistently and having to fill up with gas?
It's $10 a gallon.
Yeah,
in like these big vans,
staying in hotels that are like $400 a night for fucking Motel 6.
We were trying to get a hotel room to Eugene, which is not some happening city. It's just a normal little spot in Oregon for over 300 plus a night, over that. And so can you imagine traveling with 6-7 people in your band? And you're either going to sleep in your van that you've been traveling all day in.
It smells like feet.
Or you're going to get a hotel room that's X amount of dollars and squeeze everybody in. And okay, fine, now we're all in, but we're fucking uncomfortable. Like, we're just saying, if you have it in you to do, help out.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
And, you know, No Simple Road's way of helping out is spreading the good word. We spread the gospel of the live music experience.
And also when people are in Portland, we've had, I should have kept count or track of how many people from No Simple Road have been through our doors.
We should have like a 24 by 36 frame cork board with stickers from each band or pin from each band that stays at the house, so that, you know, over time,
I think,
fill up.
Well, definitely with Kendall Street Company, we're going to do something different, and this will be it'll set the precedent going forward, because this is like a little museum now at this point. People have stayed here, you know?
Mansion.
Yeah. And it's fun and it's super cool. So anyway, now we can get back on to whatever we were going to talk about.
So yeah, last week in the outro, we did something a little different, and I want to continue the trend. You know, you guys know what's going on with us. Like, we're gearing up for festival season. We're getting ready next week. Well, it'll be this week now, tomorrow, to go to Mojo Family Fest and podcast from there. The following week, we're going to the Peach. Then we have a couple weeks off. We do Northwest String Summit. Then Goose is coming here. Billy Strings is coming. O'Teal is coming. We're going to Dick's for Fish. You guys know about all that stuff. So we did something a little different last week. We talked about our ideas and thoughts on aliens, and I wanted to continue that with, and I want to start with Mel. And
why don't you start with yourself?
No, I'm starting with you.
He's got an agenda.
I have an agenda. I want to know what your thoughts are on sacred geometry. Go.
I don't have too many thoughts on sacred geometry. I have not studied enough. I have not used it too much in my life. I know about it as a thing to be known about in the universe, but I am not.
You understand it fundamentally.
Yeah.
You use it in tarot. You use it.
But it's not like I have other avenues that I have like more studied or been interested in or, you know, utilized. That's just something that I know about.
So like when you see it and hear about it, what does it conjure up in your mind? What does it make you think of?
Well, just initially it makes me think of like just the miracle of life and how things can be so precise and mathematical and specific, but also be so beautiful and so random and so different, So yeah, like looking at like the flower of life and things like that, it's beautiful. It's entrancing. It's something that, like I said, it's another layer of our beautiful magic that the world is.
Yeah. I mean, sacred geometry means a lot of different things to people when they see it. But like, I remember when I was very, very first learning about magic and like sigils and stuff like that like sacred geometry came into play with energy and how energy is attracted to shapes. So like, if you think about languages that are thousands of years old, like Chinese or Hebrew or languages like that, those shapes of the letters over time, people have like poured their heart and their soul into those things. The meaning of those things has been like indelibly drawn in the collective consciousness of humanity, right? So when those shapes are drawn, the energy of the meaning of that word is drawn to the shape of the letter, right? And that's why like writing in Hebrew when you're doing magic is effective, because the language itself is ancient, right? And that has to do with sacred geometry, even without things like the flower of life or whatever, right? There is a fundamental mathematical equation of the universe that's the energy that creates life and consciousness and reality. And that thing can be distilled down into a shape, and it can be part and parceled out, right, by our understanding of the world and how we're making sense of things. So like if I here's an example, like Yod He Vav He, right, the name of God, Yahweh, written in Hebrew, each one of those letters means something separate by themselves, right?
Yeah.
And when you put them together in that order, it tells the story of creation. It's the singularity becoming duality, taking shape and giving birth. That's what Yod He Vav He is. And that's geometry told in picture through shape, right? And when those things are placed together with our understanding and our will and our meaning, then the energy of that thing is drawn to the physical representation of itself. It's like, what is it in physics when, God, I can't think of the term. Like attracts like, I guess would be the easiest way to explain it. Like you can't separate the thing from itself. And if you are doing it with the understanding of that, then it's creating that energy.
Well, what about if you're doing it without the understanding of it?
I think it's still there too. It's just maybe you're not. It's like not seeing the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, even without understanding of it, that's one, like sacred geometry is one of those things to me. It may sound funny, but it's comforting because it's like science and math and everything. It's a universal thing. It transcends all religions. It transcends everything. It's in Mother Nature. It's done by man. It's a constant in everything. It goes
what about
back.
sacred geometry and crop circles?
Oh shit!
Because that's a thing. That's most of the time.
I don't know how I feel about crop circles. I am of two minds when it comes to that.
That gentleman that was on Aubrey Marcus's Mateus Estefano.
Yeah.
He had a specific encounter with, I guess we're talking about sacred geometry, but crop circles where this guy, he, I don't know how to say it properly, but he like kind of embodies water and the
Mateus or the guy
Mateus.
Okay.
And so they were doing a workshop or something like that, and they had a sigil that they were using, and it had like 3 spirals, and it was very specific to the group that they were with, and they did whatever prayer or incantation using this sigil, and they got a phone call from somebody saying, hey, there's a crop circle that you guys need to see. It just appeared in this farm nearby. And they said, okay, let's go look at it. It was a 5-minute drive. Everyone gets back on the bus, goes to this farm. They ask the farmer, can we be on your property to see this crop circle? He's like, what crop circle? Well, I had one a month ago, but that's been gone. And they're like, no, you've got one now. Fine. They let him on the property, and it was their sigil that they were using.
Holy shit. Really?
And this is a real story on Aubrey Marcus podcast, and it's again Mateus de Stefano.
Mateus de Stefano. He's a reincarnated Atlantean.
He's a special being. And anyway, so we were talking about aliens. We're talking about sacred geometry. Those things go together. I mean,
well, like I said, I don't
know how you can be one way about it. Them shits exist.
They do, but there's the skeptic part of me is like, somebody fucking went there and made that shit. You know, they knew they were gonna do those sigils and fucking went there and made. I know that that's not what most likely went down, but I have that voice in my head that especially about crop circles, because I don't know. I've seen, but look, then again,
crop circles are so fucking big that even 2, say even a team of people, 1, they're going to get caught if there's a fucking team of them. Come on, stop it. Somebody borrowed some shit.
Stop it.
Yeah, but like the boar. There's been many times where they've proven and disproven. They're like, look, this is people. It's the way that they're bent.
That's
there's
what
the
I was
way
just
that things
say. I've seen.
There's a whole new way of, like, you can tell somebody stepped on it with whatever kind of a thing, but no, these are different.
What I was going to say is I've seen where the angle that each stalk is bent is exactly the same for the entire crop circle, and none of it is broken. It's only bent, and it's impossible to take a board and lay it on there and not break any of it.
And it's impossible to get out of the middle of a crop without leaving a single trail going up to the crop circle.
I mean, you'd have to have like a helicopter, right, pick you up and like airlift you out of the middle.
It would be a spectacle to do it. Somebody would.
So do you think maybe that, like, it's not extraterrestrials making crop circles, but like, as human beings alive on planet Earth, we are all part of an energy field, right? You've seen it when you're super high. You've felt it when you're sober. You've experienced the energy field that we're all part of. And if there's a group of people that are heightened focused on something, like these people doing a ritual with these symbols or whatever, that like it's a physical manifestation of the thought energy that's happening. I think that's what it could be, like this thing just manifesting out into physical reality.
Why? What would the purpose of that be?
Well, I saw a show on that they've talked, because it's an unknown, so there's so many theories. Because I saw a show a while back that was talking about crop circles. Same thing. It's like the polarity, the magnetism of the earth, because there's been crop circles. When you go to the site, compasses don't work right and stuff. And there's all kinds of theories. Nothing has been proven, but it's theories going about it in different ways. And sometimes there are disturbances in the earth's field in those areas where crop circles appear. So it's another,
maybe it's like, could it be like the planet's way of communicating medicine energetically?
Why would it be medicine?
For itself. Like, we as human beings are disrupting the fields of the planet with whatever our bullshit is, pollution and hate and anger and fear and whatever. Could it be the planet's way of like reacting to us.
I think tsunamis and fucking
Well, that's
like
one
crazy
way.
storms, that would be one way of reacting. Maybe. I mean, the grass bending itself to be pissed off, I doubt it. I don't think the earth is like us with human emotions and is like, I'm mad at you guys, so I'm going to, no. It's like a boiling point type of a thing. These occasions or these things happen, and then it's a reaction.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not the earth going like, but it's the energy field reacting and trying to balance itself back out.
Yeah, and also, like you said too, it's possible for, because that's another theory that I've seen on talks of these, is like it's communication.
Well, okay, I've heard that before too. But
that's what he was saying. It was a in this specific instance, one that I mentioned a second ago. It was like a communication of sorts, because it was the same exact sigil. So it's like either like a nod, like yes, it's okay that what you're doing, or we see you here, like we're responding to you, something like there was like a type of communication, like a Morse code.
Okay. I've heard that theory before too, about like communication through crop circles, but everything that I've ever seen on crop circles, humans are like, oh, we don't know what it means. So if you're communicating, you're fucking speaking the wrong language because we ain't getting it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
we don't get it when there's things right in front of our face.
And that's like I was talking about it. It's not necessarily communication for us. It's also one of those things. I saw that it's almost like ET phone home, like communication from an alien stuck on this planet, trying to communicate with its world out there by these crop circles, which could be seen by other entities not on Earth.
Yeah, because when you approach a crop circle, you don't even know that it's a crop circle. You have no idea. You have to see it exactly. You have to see it from an elevated perspective, and we're not elevated. We're right on that same level. So there's no way it's clearly it's not specifically for one person to interpret.
No,
this is something.
And then it also ties, because then you look at other things throughout human history and things like the Aztecs, the Incas, the things they did. They're still out in the desert,
like the Nazca lines.
Yeah, stuff like that. It like that was communication. That was their communication to the gods and stuff like that. It's
well, and it's funny that sacred geometry is the method of communication. The language that. What that tells me is that, like I was saying, there is a fundamental underlying energy that pervades the entire all of creation universe. It's the mechanical part of the machine of consciousness, and that's how it's represented, is in those shapes and symbols, and it transcends even being a human being if other entities are using that to communicate.
And it shows up in nature all the time. Like one of the things I think of first when you threw that out, I was like, oh God, sacred geometry. Like, what do you call it? The nebula shell,
the conch shell,
conch shell. How it's in there.
Well,
and
a daisy
it appears all
even.
the time in nature.
Any flower. Look at the inner workings of a flower, or like, I mean, there's just so much to. It's everywhere. It's also nowhere. You know what I mean? It's everywhere and nowhere. We probably have sacred geometry inside ourselves, inside of our cells,
all over in us.
Our DNA, all like.
So think about, you know what resonant frequency is?
A frequency that resonates.
Well, it's like
good job, Apple.
It's like having two tuning forks.
Yeah.
That
Oh, and when the sounds collide and make it.
It's like entrainment of the waves of the frequency. So if you think about what I was saying at the beginning of this conversation about like writing in Hebrew or Chinese or something like that, those shapes, sacred geometry or whatever, have a resonant frequency. They have a vibration. Everything has a wave to it, whether it's how we see it or hear it, right, or feel it. So it would stand to reason that the vibration of that would draw the frequency of the thing to it. So they would become one and the same. And maybe that's what the communication is. That maybe crop circles are a way for something to travel through resonant frequency, right? It's like folding space-time.
I mean, possibly. I have zero knowledge of this, so
me either.
I mean,
I was just saying the most the world has.
None of us do.
I don't know. I mean, I know that there's ability to do anything in life, like magic people just appearing, voices, intuitive knowing, miracle, all that shit's real, and it manifests every day in small and large ways. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've read stories about like monks in the Himalayas being able to like walk through solid walls,
Mm-hmm.
or like being able to be in two places at the same time, like being in the monastery and showing up in somebody's house.
Oh yeah, like when I read Autobiography of a Yogi, that talked about similar things. You know, like a lot of people in like those mind, like Wim Hof and all these like kind of extreme things, like walking on water or doing these cold plunges, and you know, not walking on water, walking on fire is what I meant, and going into these cold plunges, like getting out of your everyday mind frame and getting into elevated or different states of consciousness and creating something that wasn't possible before.
Right. And talking about those monks, and they are bathed, they're completely surrounded at all times by the vibration of sacred geometry.
Well, and they're not like cluttered by like cars and grocery stores.
Those monks that we saw in Vegas were kicking ass.
But you were not talking about those. Nikes. You weren't talking about Vegas monks.
Well, and then that also transcends, when you're just talking about that transcends beyond that into other realms of like our government believing in it and do like that. It reminds me of that movie, The Men Who Stare at Goats.
Oh, yeah.
Which was like about true CIA things that they were doing of teaching people to go through walls and stuff, like stare at a goat and you can kill it by staring at it. Like, I mean, it's out there. I mean, our government likes to discount things, but at the same time, they're like, let's fuck around with this, see if we can figure it out, man.
Well, Stranger
this
Things,
shit's real,
right? We were just talking about Stranger Things and how that was kind of loosely based on
Project
some of the
Monarch and all that, yeah.
So, and look what they're doing. They're like staring at something and like killing it with their hands or breaking it apart, or like, you know, using an extreme amount of mental focus and causing change on something outside themselves without movement.
And there's getting back to the whole like geometry part of it. The first thing I ever noticed the first time I smoked DMT, the overwhelming thing that happened first was geometry.
Yes.
Sacred geometry.
Yes, I
and like
agree.
Fractal universe exploding into every symbol I've ever known, inside of every symbol I've ever known, translocating and moving and changing like a computer screen, like the Matrix.
As I say, along with some mathematical equations and diagrams thrown in there.
So that's that right there. Like really, that experience I never gave much thought to it, like as far as the geometry of the universe or anything like that. But that experience really informed understanding in me of like, oh, that's the shit that makes up everything, everywhere, all the time, forever and before. It doesn't exist, and it is at the same time always.
The sacred geometry is also forever, thousands and thousands of years, crossed over into art. It comes into play in all kinds of artwork and everything, and into temples and into cathedrals.
Because it's
every religion.
Mandalas. That's another, you know, and it is a portal. You know, you were talking about the crop circles possibly being some type of a portal, but that's what mandala is too, you know, tracing it and making these specific things with all the right measurements and these doorways, and it's special.
Mm-hmm.
Sacred geometry is sacred.
Mankind's attempt at explaining the ineffable.
I'll go back to like I said, to me, it's like also like a comforting thing because it's like organization.
Yeah.
It's pleasing to like an OCD type mind or something because it is mathematical and it is, does that make sense?
Totally. It's order out of chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could look and be like, oh, I like
so
that
it's
shape.
not only orderly, but it's beautiful. When you see sacred geometry, that's beautiful. And then these are like building blocks of, like we were talking about, like our DNA, and you look at DNA and it's gorgeous. And then you weave it into some pattern and now it's like
a person.
Yeah. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's creation.
Whoa.
Like,
So it's not just put together, it's put together mathematically precise with beauty.
And think about that, the double helix strand creates I don't want to say creates consciousness, but it creates a human being that is conscious, right? That can know it. It knows, we know about the double helix. We know that thing is there. And that's like, yeah, it's itself knowing itself. It's fucking
that's
bonkers.
like science.
Man.
It also
Bananas.
makes me think of, which I don't understand how it's done because I'm not a computer person, but like the simple fact, like the fractals that are created through mathematical equations put into a computer to create these fractals that are just that. It's like sacred geometry.
Well,
it come to life.
While we're talking about this, I pulled up sacred geometry on my phone and I'm looking. There's things from sacred geometry gardens, creating a garden using sacred geometry. There's sketchbooks. There's sacred geometry for kids. There's activations using sacred geometry. There's tarot cards with sacred geometry. There is many, many things about sacred language of the angels.
Whoa.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And magical symbols. So there is a lot to know about sacred geometry.
Well, and every religion
we just
embraces it.
Yeah, tip of the iceberg.
There's an iceberg too, and it's
probably
sacred geometry.
It's probably perfectly. Yes.
Look at the ice and the way that a snowflake creates itself. There's sacred geometry there. Can't get away from it. Where are you going, Apple? You got to go pee. All right, we're gonna end the show, but we'll wait for you. So yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, you asked me what's sacred geometry to you. I know we just had a conversation, but
just said what it was.
All right.
Yeah, I went through my whole spiel on sacred geometry.
We didn't need to go back and forth this week.
Yeah.
Okay, babe. How was your week? Minus the getting ready. How's Aaron feeling this week? Because you just said everybody knows that we've got these events coming up.
That's a tough question.
Be honest then.
Well, no, it's not like I'm trying to hide anything. I don't know how to say it. It's, I feel a lot of different ways right now. I'm very busy in my head, and it's, sometimes it's a struggle to shut it down. I think I'm doing better with it, but it's hard sometimes, man. I wear a lot of hats, and it gets like a hornet's nest inside my head sometimes, and it's hard.
Oh, I know.
And,
I live with you.
Yeah. And I've realized that, like, this isn't new realization, but just a refreshed realization that, like, I have to rest and take care of myself like that. Like, rest is super fucking important for me, because when I'm feeling like my head is a crazy beehive and I don't get enough sleep, it's compounded 1,000 times, and it makes it hard to do everything. And then I also notice that, like, not only is it harder to do stuff, but my my desire goes out the fucking window.
Yeah. How could it stay up?
I'm like, now it's shit I have to do instead of get to do.
Yeah, I know. You felt like that this week.
Yeah. And so that's where I'm at. Like, I'm just doing the balancing act and trying to find the right
formula.
For like rest and work and keeping everything together.
It's funny because I just took a quick bathroom break or walk back in. You said beehive. You're talking about something completely different, but now I'm thinking about sacred geometry and like looking at everything. And I thought like two things that are out there every day that Mother Nature is involved in is like beehives, the honeycomb, everything like that, the perfection that goes into that. And then one of my favorite things, if anybody's, I'm sure people have seen it, is the spider webs.
Of course.
And when they've done experiments on spiders, like where they get them high or something like that,
they can't
or the
do it right.
Yeah, I mean, when they're functioning like they should be, like on point, that shit is so perfect.
They're switched on.
And then if they're off or something like that, then you get the little fuck ups, but they're creating sacred geometry.
Speaking of spiders, think about if you say like you're in a room and a spider's on a ceiling and they start to drop down and it looks like the spider is literally in the middle of the air because you can barely see their string. Think about that on a macrocosmic scale. Think about if there's some big fucking being that comes down on some invisible line that can create crop circles and shit.
Boom.
It's the invisible.
No,
it's the invisible angel spider.
Yeah. Like how, because there's so many things happening at the same time, so many lives happening and so many frequencies.
We don't know.
Yeah, we do. Right now, we're recording a podcast. There could be a billion other podcasts being recorded right now. There could be people having sex. There could be people shopping. There could, right? It's what I'm saying. So that's not all in this room right now. It's a different frequency. It's
all
a different
potentiality.
Location.
Yeah.
Exactly. So in that field, in that crop circle field, it's not as impossible for somebody to make that or some being to make that because it's not in the same way that we see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's sacred geometry, everybody.
Sacred geometry.
Let's hear it for it.
Well, I'm going to throw it because I can't help but think of it now because we said it so many times. I'm going to give a big shout out to Crop Circle Chocolates.
Oh, Crop Circle Chocolates. They're legit.
Oh my God. They're so good.
Rebecca,
they're good friends.
right?
Yeah, Rebecca, Jeremiah, and Todd. And just had to say that. They got the best chocolates.
Yeah, they do.
And the best name.
I have this little heating pad for my neck, and on the heating pad is some butterflies. They've got sacred geometry.
Yeah. So
all over.
Hey, everybody out there, your homework this week, especially if you've listened this far into the episode, you're a diehard. So your homework this week is to go out into your life and identify 5 places where sacred geometry is present in your world.
How about 2?
Okay.
Identify 2.
I keep looking.
Call in on the tepid line 971-808-1524 and be like, hey, Aaron, Mel, Apple, I found sacred geometry in this piece of fucking wood furniture that I got. I found sacred geometry in my kid's freaking bathroom somehow. I don't know.
My view here is the entire time we've been talking to is when I look over at Aaron and Mel is the Cornell poster hanging over the mantle.
Oh, yeah.
That's some sacred geometry right there.
Look at the No Simple Road one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway.
We'll be back next week.
Right on.
With more
That was
weirdness.
another, like at first when you were like brought that up, it was like,
I know.
My thoughts on sacred geometry.
I'm not trying to do no
Oh, I know, but at first I'm like, I don't have any thoughts on that.
You do.
Half hour later, as we've gone around several times, like, we ain't got nothing to say. We don't like to talk very much.
Look, man, these are just topics. We aren't asking for your fucking college thesis on it. What do you think? You've been around it. Like, what's up? So anyway, we'll be back next week with more stuff and things. Follow us on all the things. Give us money in patreon.com because we're doing stuff and you like
Follow
it.
us on the stuff and things. Do the stuff and things. Be involved.
And take care of each other and smile at a stranger.
And make sure to recommend the Kendall Street Company and No Simple Road to friends.
And remember, safety third.
Been the earth and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a new born. So persistent, so severe. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarity that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Hi, this is Henry Kay, host of the #1 music history podcast, Rootsland. Come with me on a journey to Kingston, Jamaica, where we explore the world of reggae music and the untold stories of some of the genre's greatest legends. From the ghettos and tenement yards where the music was born, to the island's iconic recording studios. We are so excited to team up with Osiris Media, the leading storyteller in music, because as you'll hear, sometimes the story is the best song.